Another theory that I have for this is I think that the writers are just getting lazy. You had this plot that was so good, so great, and then all of a sudden you just decide to throw it all outside the window because you can't seem to like develop that plot properly anymore. When did this turn into a romance drama with bad communication? I'm just being a little bit dramatic with the title. This video is just gonna be more of like a sit down, like we're on FaceTime while I talk about my K-drama slump. And again, let me just say my little sorry guys that like I'm doing a lot of sit down videos again. I touched on it a little bit in the end of my last video, but I'm doing a lot of these just sit down talk with me kind of videos because I'm really busy with my whole transition up to college again. So I know I won't actually have time to edit a fully fledged detailed video, but at the same time I don't just want to leave you guys hanging like I used to for like a month and a half. So I'm just like, let me just give my besties something to listen to in the background while I'm getting ready and while I'm getting my life together. So, but a lot of you guys just say that you just like to listen to them in the background or while you're doing stuff or like on your way to work, and I love that. I love that. So why don't I give you more of that? But with that being said, let's just get right into the video, shall we? But like I mentioned earlier, I just wanted to have like a little sit down conversation with you guys about something that I've been really scared to say, and that's just that I'm in a K-drama slump, guys. I've been so busy looking out for my besties that like I couldn't even find time to look out for myself, you know? And like, I never thought I would be in this situation. I've been in this situation before. That I, of all people who has no life other than watching K-dramas, is in a K-drama slump. But here I am being vulnerable with you guys. So I just wanted you guys to sit down and talk with me as I discuss this very hard time that I'm going through. But guys, I've literally been watching dramas back to back these days, like I always do, like whenever I not, you know, always find time. These days, all the dramas I've been watching back to back are C-dramas. They're not K-dramas. And we're like, before it would be only K-dramas, or it'd be like, I watch a C-drama, then I watch a K-drama, then I go back to a C-drama, then I go back to a K-drama. Like right now, y'all, my watch list is stacked with C-dramas. Stacked. Like if a C-drama is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the K-drama I'm looking to watch next is all the way down at 20, y'all. Like there's no hope for her right now. And what's definitely set me back from all these dramas that are coming out right now is the fact that I finally decided to watch The Story of Minglan. And it's literally because in my other video where I was talking about like the strong female leads and I didn't mention Minglan because I hadn't watched it yet, everybody in my comments was beating me up and dragging me saying, you haven't watched Story of Minglan yet? You watched Story of Yanshi Palace and you haven't watched Story of Minglan yet? I know this list isn't complete because you don't have Minglan on here. My bad, y'all. They say peer pressure doesn't work in school. They're fucking lying. The peer pressure they're talking about isn't smoking, isn't alcohol, it's being peer pressured into watching a drama. So yes, I sat my little happy ass down and I've been watching The Story of Minglan for the past like 2 weeks now. But do you know how bored I have to be to, instead of picking up a 16 episode K-drama, I decide to sit my ass down for a 73 episode, 45 minutes episode each C-drama? Do you know how bored I have to be? I'm very bored, y'all. And these K-dramas are just not hitting for me. And what's even crazier is I don't even think I have a proper reason for this slump. Like, I can't even say something like the dramas that are coming out these days are so trash and they're so whack. Like, it's just making us like, I don't even want to pick it up anymore. But at the same time, I can't even say something like, I don't know why I'm in this slump. These dramas that are coming out are the best things I've ever seen. Because bitch, I'm not watching them. I'm not watching these dramas, y'all. But the crazy thing is, like, I am hearing that good dramas are coming out. I am seeing that, like, oh my gosh, you need to watch this drama. You need to watch this K-drama. This K-drama is amazing. For instance, one of the dramas that have come out recently is called Head Over Heels, I'm pretty sure. And nonstop, I see that stuff on my For You page. But I keep on swiping because I don't want to get spoiled, because in the back of my mind, like way back there, I have hope and faith in myself that I'll be able to bring myself out of here and actually watch it, because so many people are saying good things about it. And the thing is, I can see who the main characters are, and I've seen both the leads in like a more supporting role, but like in the roles that I've seen them in, they've acted well, and I've never looked at them and be like, oh my gosh, get this bitch out of here, like she don't know what the fuck she doing. No, it's never been that. Like I feel like they have good acting, and when I see the plot actually looks interesting and like something that I would actually watch, because it's not a plot that I typically see very often. So it's just like, if I don't have beef with the plot and I don't have beef with any of the actors or actresses, why can't I watch this drama, y'all? I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like one thing that might be adding to the fact that I don't really want to watch it and it's not really up there on my list is the fact that like it's set in high school. And something I've actually noticed that like ever since I graduated high school, I have not been interested in any dramas that are in the high school setting. And I'm not gonna say that it was a dramatic drop off. Like the moment I got that cap and gown and I threw it up in the air, I was like, oh, who is you? And I just suddenly wasn't fucking with them no more. It was a more gradual thing. I want to say that like it started in like my junior year, and I was just kind of like, getting kind of boring. It's getting kind of repetitive, or it's like, it's getting a little bit childish for me. But now I'm at this point where I'm just like, when I see it, it kind of like throws me off and it makes me less likely to actually watch the drama. So like, if I hear that the drama is really good and it's like all the plots look amazing, and then I find out that it's set in high school, I'm just like, And then it's like, I really need a lot of people to say good things about it, or I have to hear a lot of buzz about it where it's like, oh, this is amazing, this is great, for me to even like consider actually watching it. And for context, I'm going into my sophomore year of college now, so it's not like it was just like a one and done and all of a sudden I wasn't interested in the high school setting anymore. But I've definitely noticed that like, y'all, I am not fucking with this high school setting. Like, it's just not for me anymore. And by watch list, y'all, I don't even mean like I have an actual proper list. My watch list literally just involves shoving the most disrespectful, absolutely disgusting amount of K-dramas up on my tabs list, to the point where like it's just flooding the entirety of my tabs. And the reason why I do that is because like I don't group them or anything, because if I were to group them, I would forget about them. Out of sight, out of mind, and those dramas will never be watched, I promise you that. So I literally have to put it in my face and like shame myself and look at the mirror and be like, look at what you've become. Aren't you disgusted with yourself? Like, I literally have to put that many tabs on my screen so it can force me to watch these dramas, because I can't exit out of the tabs unless I watch the dramas, duh. And it's so crazy for me to say this, because I used to think that you were crazy if you thought that the adult setting or the workplace or even college place setting was more entertaining than the high school setting. I know, y'all, my immaturity was showing, okay? I'm a changed person now. I don't hold those same values, okay? But I remember whenever I was in high school and I would see people talking about dramas that are set in like the workplace setting, I would be like, ew, like stinky, like y'all live like this, y'all actually watch this shit. Like, I used to think you were out of your mind if you like those dramas, but like, look at me now. You either fight the injustice or live long enough to become the injustice, something like that. That's a thing, right? That's a saying. And don't worry, y'all, it's not like I'm trying to crack this some sort of mystery code and be like, why don't I like high school setting dramas anymore? Why is it that now that I have grown up, I like more grown dramas? Like, it's very simple and in your face, really. Like, it's not a big discussion. I know the reason why I don't really like high school dramas anymore is because I'm not at that point in my life anymore. And I've kind of like matured past it, and now I'm in a setting where it's like I find more adult setting dramas to be more relatable to me, because it's like in these dramas they're like fighting to get into their colleges and stuff like that, and it's like, baby girl, been there, done that, all right? So it's just like I'm not stressing about the reason why I don't like these high school setting dramas anymore. But what I want to get into is the fact that like, even though me growing up explains the fact that I'm not into these high school setting dramas anymore, y'all, I don't like these other genres or settings either. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just cannot pick them up for the life of me. For instance, I was watching The First Night with the Duke, or like I Spent the First Night with the Duke, whatever the hell the name was. And y'all, it was so funny. I'm telling you guys, it was hilarious. Like, I was like, I was like, you're really good. You're really good at your job. Give him a raise. Like, y'all, I was cracking up for episode 1 and 2. And it was to the point where I was just like, oh, I can't wait until I see episode 3 and episode 4 because this is so funny. But by the time I finished episode 4, I was just like, oh yeah, this is nice, I guess. And then when I was trying to go into episode 5 and episode 6, I was just like, dude, this kind of feels like a little repetitive. Like, I don't know what it is about this, but like, I'm just not digging this anymore. And I ended up dropping the drama. And it wasn't even like I had strong feelings against it. It wasn't like I was like, this drama is so trash, like I need to sue whoever ended up wasting my time and had me sat down to watch this drama. No, none of that. I wasn't doing any of that. Like, literally the reason why I ended up dropping the drama is because I missed 1 week of when it updated, and then by the next week came around, I was just like, you know what, I really don't want to dedicate 3 hours of my life to catch up to this drama. And then I just ended up dropping it. And I want to say the reason why I ended up dropping it is because I already read the manhwa, because if you don't know, it was adapted from a manhwa into a K-drama. I want to say that that's the reason why, and I'm just like, well, I already know the plot, so there's no point in watching it. But I know that's not the case, because I've watched plenty of dramas before that were adapted from the manhwa to the K-drama. And the thing is, these K-drama writers don't know how to adapt shit anyway, so you're basically gonna be watching and seeing a whole different show from what you read in the manhwa, because they always do such a shit job at adapting it. So even though I'd be like, what kind of adaptation is this? I would end up sat and watching it anyways, and I would still find ways to enjoy the drama. And I feel like I've been doing this a lot more recently. And by this, I mean like watching a drama and then I end up dropping it, not because I hate it, but just because I can't be bothered to continue watching it anymore, and not because I'm secretly hoping for the downfall of whoever directed the show. And I have my theories for this, so I want you guys to tell me if any of my theories make sense, if you think this theory makes sense or this theory makes sense, or if it's like a combination of the two. And go ahead and tell me if you also think I need to go back to my padded room, because I will take that advice very carefully. One One of the reasons why I feel like I'm in this kind of K-drama slump is that I've watched a lot of dramas, y'all. Specifically K-dramas. I've watched a lot of K-dramas. I want to do like a quick little, not quick because it took me a very long time. I ended up making like this list of all the dramas that I ended up watching because you guys kept on asking me what my drama list account was. So I ended up recording every single drama that I watched. And y'all, I've completed over 200 K-dramas. And if you want to count the dramas that I've dropped, I've watched over 250 K-dramas. And y'all, that is a lot of dramas. I'm a little bit embarrassed, a little bit when I think about what I could have been doing with my time otherwise. But I'm not even gonna hold y'all. If the drama isn't like in a hospital setting, there is a good chance that I have watched it. Old dramas, new dramas, shit dramas, good dramas, like I've watched all of them. I'm telling you here right now. And I'm not saying this to be like, I've watched so many K-dramas, I've watched so many, like you have nothing on me, because I promise you, there are a lot of y'all who have watched way more dramas than me. Like some of y'all be in my DMs like, oh my gosh, I noticed you watched this, but did you watch this? I loved it, it was my favorite. And you like pull out some sort of CD with like, dust on that bitch, like something from the great archives, and you're like, you gotta watch this. Every person who I know watch K-dramas watches this, and it's like something I've never seen in my entire life. Some of y'all, I wouldn't be surprised if you had over 400 K-dramas on your list, like for real. But the reason why I'm saying this to throw into my theory as to why I'm in this little K-drama slump is that like I feel like after you've watched a certain amount of stories, just in general, not just K-dramas, you kind of know what's gonna happen and when it's gonna happen. Like the plots aren't really unexpected anymore because there's only so many different plots you can make, and within those plots there's only so many different routes that you can take where it still makes sense. S-line. But I'm at this point with dramas where like even kiss scenes don't even surprise me anymore, and I fully expect them to happen. But a little tip for you guys, which I'm assuming a lot of you guys probably already know, but like if you're watching a drama and then all of a sudden the drama gets super boring, and then they have like these shots where they're showing like full body shots and you can see them from their head down to like their knees at the very least, and there's like nothing happening, don't press that skip button. Because I promise you, the moment you press that skip button, either their lips are touching like this or like a confession just happened. Like I promise you right now. And the only reason why I know this is that like I'm literally under this like curse where like I skip kiss scenes all the time. All the time. Every single time. I actually laugh because I think I've skipped into kiss scenes probably like 70% of the time of the dramas that I've watched. Like it'll be like nothing's happening. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so boring. I hit that arrow, lips together. I hit that arrow, it's cause I like you. I hit that arrow, boop, 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 boop. Like it happens every single time. So like recently whenever something's happening, I'm just like, wow, this is really boring. I put my hands in air jail. And I literally call it air jail because like, do not put your hands down, because the moment you put your hands down, you're gonna skip. And the moment you skip, you're gonna be real mad when the kiss scene just happened and you just missed it. All because you didn't want to sit down for another 15 seconds. And you know, ever since I've been doing that, I've been catching a lot more kiss scenes, y'all. But I feel like the point that I'm trying to get to here is pretty obvious. And it's just the fact that like, if you already expect something to happen in the show, when it actually happens, you're not gonna really be as excited because bitch, you already knew it was gonna happen. Like, there was no plot twist there because it's just like, yeah, we kind of knew that. Yeah, this is gonna happen. It kind of ties into that thing where I was telling you about before, where it's just like, if there's a character in a show and you see them a lot, but they have like no purpose in the show, and you're just like, wow, I see you more often than I should, but I don't really know what your purpose in the show is. 90% of the time, they're a villain, or 90% of the time, they're gonna have this significant role in the show where it's just like, oh, you weren't expecting it. Who would have thought little old me was gonna be the mastermind behind it all? Everybody knew you were the mastermind. But another theory I have for this is, guys, don't pick up the pitchforks, okay? Another theory that I have for this is I think that the writers are just getting lazy. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm looking into things too much where I'm just like, wow, these K-dramas aren't like they used to be. Back in my day, these K-dramas were amazing. Like, I don't think it's that per se. I think these writers are genuinely either getting lazy or like they're losing inspiration halfway through. And I say this because there are so many different dramas where I'll pick it up and the first episode, second episode, third episode, fourth episode, amazing. But then after the fourth episode, it just kind of trails off into something where I'm just like, oh, this is just your standard drama. Like, this is literally like every other drama that I've watched. Like, it starts really good in the beginning, but then it just falls off afterwards. And it makes me so angry because it's like you're wasting so much potential because you had this plot that was so good, so great, and then all of a sudden you just decide to throw it all outside the window because you can't seem to like develop that plot properly anymore. And I know it sounds like I'm talking about S-line in this video, and even though what I'm saying does pertain to how I felt about S-line, I'm just talking about a lot of the K-dramas that I've seen in general recently. And like, I don't even know if they're doing it on purpose just to kind of maximize output, where they're just like, okay, let's like make make it really, really good in the first 4 episodes, and then after that we gotta work on the next project. So go ahead and give it to the intern. He'll wrap it up, and then everything will be good. And then they're just like pushing out dramas left and right in order to get as much profit as they can. I don't know, okay? But like, it just gets kind of annoying whenever you see these dramas that have the best plot that you've ever seen in your entire life, or they have some sort of supernatural thing going on, and it's just like, whoa, I've never heard of that before. I wonder how this plot is gonna develop. And then like halfway through the story, like whatever type of supernatural thing they have going on doesn't even apply to the plot anymore, or they can't even like make it act in the plot because they've just decided to like stop talking it out of existence. And by stop talking it out of existence, I mean like they just don't bring it up anymore. It doesn't have any effect on the plot, and nobody thinks of using that characteristic of the plot in this part of the plot. So basically that part of the plot just gets erased from the show entirely. I don't know if I'm making sense there. Fingers crossed I am. But like there have been so many things where I've watched it where it's just like you have some sort of supernatural ability, and then they just completely just make the ability obsolete because nobody wants to talk about it anymore, and nobody wants to act like it's a part of the plot. When you literally already established it in the plot, this plot is in your hands. You have the right to do whatever you want with it, and you just got rid of the coolest thing about it. Like, you will literally be like some of the best things you've ever seen. But then by the time you're on episode 14, you stop and you think about it, and you're just like, dang, for the past 5 episodes, we've been in a stuck on this whole little like romance or plot situation because the 2 leads don't know how to communicate with each other. And then the drama ends up wrapping up with the 2 leads communicating with each other, and then they ride off into the sunset, and then that's the end of the story. But it's like, bitch, we started off this drama with you being able to fly, the male lead being able to shoot lasers out of his eyes, and then both of you guys work together in order to combat evil. When did this turn into a romance drama with bad communication? And it leaves me so confused because it's just like, are we running out of budget? Is there something going on that you guys aren't telling me about? Like, we can start a GoFundMe if that's what you need, if that's truly what you need in order to produce some good content. Like, we will do that for you. I'll donate like $1, you know? And I know I sound super snobby. You guys are probably like, oh my gosh, this girl doesn't even go to film school. She doesn't even know how hard it is to produce good content. Like, she doesn't even know what she's talking about. And like, I can get that, I understand, but like, I also feel like this is one of those situations where it's like, you don't need to be a chef to know if the food tastes bad. Like, I don't need to be a film critic. I don't need to have gone to like film school in order to see that a plot is being like completely destroyed just because of lack of development, or its quality is being completely diminished because you guys don't know how to properly develop a story. Like, I can tell, like your viewers can tell when a story is not written properly. For instance, like Mask Girl. Even though Mask Girl overall as a story was like a good story, it's not as good as it could have been had they just gone down the trajectory that everybody thought that they were gonna go down. Literally, if you were to look at the last 2 episodes of Mask Girl and the first 2 episodes of Mask Girl, they are completely different stories, and you would not think that they're connected whatsoever, just because they just went off the deep end for no fucking reason. It's just like, why? Just why? Why? And I think this kind of brings me into like what my main thing here is and why I've been kind of shifting towards C-dramas more lately. And I think that's just because C-dramas actually know how to focus on more than one thing at once in their plot. Like, whenever K-dramas try to focus on more than one thing, it's like they can only focus on one thing at a time. So they'll have multiple parts of the plot, but they can only talk about one part of the plot at one time. And they cannot move on until they completely finish one part of the plot. Like, it's insane. Either that, or like they are not able to wrap up one part of the plot. They just leave it open-ended, and then they just decide to focus on a completely separate part of a plot. But these days I've just been kind of leaning towards C-dramas because even though, like, you know, the big plot here is to, like, for instance, get the male lead on the throne, while that whole thing is happening, you have the female lead who like grew up in like this circumstance, and like you can see how that shaped her as a person. You see the male lead and you see how that shaped him as a person. You see the supporting characters and how you can see how they also have their own lives and they're also developing in their own ways, and how even though some people were bad in the beginning, they can change their character because of their circumstances to become good by the end of the show, all while they're progressing further in the story to this major plot, which is putting the male lead on the throne. You get what I'm saying? So honestly, I feel like that's just my biggest pet peeve right now with K-dramas. It's just that the stories are being very repetitive, the stories are being dropped halfway through, and the stories that do have good plots just aren't being developed properly to the point that you can actually resonate with each character or see each character as something that's more than just somebody written on a paper. And I don't know if that sounds like fake deep, fake woke, like I don't know what it is, but like that's basically how it is.
이제 작가님들은 대부분 이제 남은 에피소드를 집에서 이제 열심히 집필을 하셔야 돼서 촬영 현장에 자주 본.
But that's basically my little FaceTime with you guys, talking about how I've been in my little K-drama slump. I've been rocking with K-dramas for a long time. So like, I know that the K-dramas aren't gonna leave anytime soon. I'll be back soon, back and better than ever. At least the K-dramas will be, hopefully. I just think we need a little bit of time of separate, you know, to kind of let's work on ourselves separately before we can come back stronger as like a pair. You get what I'm saying? I don't know, y'all. I don't know how long this slump will last. So far it's been like, I want to say 5-6 months. I don't know, but it's been a minute, so hopefully long enough. Like, the more I'm in the slump, the closer I am to being out of the slump. You get what I'm saying? Something like that, right? But something that I will keep constant, no matter if it's K-dramas, C-dramas, J-dramas, Thai dramas, no matter what kind of drama it is, I'm not watching that second lead couple. Anyways, that's it for today's video. I really, really love you guys if you guys watch this video. Like, mwah, like, that's for you. Mwah, mwah, that's for you. Mwah, give that one to your pet. Mwah, give that one to your mother. Give that one to your father. I love you guys so much for watching this video. Thanks for sticking around for more of a FaceTime kind of rant kind of thing. Even though I know it's not our regularly scheduled program. If you guys like this video, go ahead and hit the like button to let me know. If you guys really like this video, how about you subscribe so you can watch all my videos? And let me throw another thing out there. Comment down below. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, what you agree with, what you don't agree with. Let's just talk in the comments. Let's chop it up. Low-key, I'm thinking of starting a Discord because a lot of you guys have been messaging me on Instagram and I feel bad because sometimes I don't see them. Like, they go into like this little like request box and I'm not the type of person to go on Instagram every single day anyways, so it goes into like this little request box that I cannot see until I actively click it, and then it's like, oh, you texted me like 5 days ago. And even worse part that I feel even worse about is that like I wake up early in the morning. I usually wake up at like 5:30, but like when I wake up I immediately go and check on my phone just to kind of wake myself up, and sometimes I'll go onto Instagram and see the request box and I'll see that somebody said something to me. It's like the nicest thing I've ever seen in my life. I go to go respond and I'm just like, thank you, bestie. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. I don't know what I would do without you. I hope you have nothing but blessings coming your way. Mwah. And then I go about my day. 2 hours later, I go back to go check up on the message. Hey, ho, you fuck with me that much? I didn't even know you like me like that. Type shit. Mwah. I promise you I didn't send that message. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened between the point of me setting send and it getting to your phone, but like, I promise you that wasn't me. Typos and everything. Like, it's so bad, y'all. I be feeling so bad. Like, sometimes I just want to like fix it, but then it's like you already saw it, and then it's like now you see that I just edited it, and it's just like, I just need to make a rule for myself that I'm not allowed to respond to people until after 12 p.m. honestly. I'm thinking of making a Discord where we can all just kind of talk to each other, like our little public group chat and stuff like that. I'll hop in there every now and then to be like, that drama was ass! What the fuck are you talking about? And then I'll hop back out. But let me know if that's something you guys are interested. Anyways, I'm really, really done this time. I love you guys so much. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!